What's good, everybody? This your boy Blackout Jones from Just Shooting the Sports. What's next for SHEDEUR Sanders? After going undrafted once again on day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Let's get it. Two names come to mind. Two names. Baker Mayfield, Eli Manning. The reason why I bring those names up is because with SHEDEUR Sanders, there's been talk of, his character, attitude, acting braggadocious. Of course, his Hall of Fame father, the one and only primetime Deion Sanders. The reason why I bring those two names up because one of those players, they had a father too. That wasn't really high profile, let's be honest. And then the other player, flip you off, grab his nuts, intoxicated, tried to run. Not only did he get tackled for a loss on the field, but he also got tackled for a loss off the field. If you catch my drift, and if you've seen the video. But we want to sit here and we want to talk about SHEDEUR's character. One thing about SHEDEUR, all he did was this. That's it. Never in trouble, always respectful, didn't grab nuts, didn't flip the opposing team players off, didn't do any of those things. And speaking of, let's not forget, Kirk Herbstreit and others, when that so-called player named Baker Mayfield was grabbing his nuts and flipping off the Kansas Jayhawks football team, oh, he's passionate. Oh, he's all these other things. But then Rashad Golden, of course, we were getting blown out by Alabama when one of our defensive players took a Tua interception to the house and flipped off the Alabama fans. Oh, he's classless. That doesn't belong in the game. Kirk Herbstreit, same person who Rashad Golden had to call out. As he should. And Kirk backtracked his statement. I say that to say this. NFL, you could call it trying to humble SHEDEUR. You could call it trying to teach a lesson to his father, Deion Sanders. But you know what I call it? Pure bullshit. Across the board. Arch Manning, who is nowhere near popular as Deion was in the league, he was like, my son is not going to San Diego. Bank on that. And what happened? He got traded to the Giants. Baker Mayfield, for all the things that he did, whether it was on the field, whether it was off the field, now don't get it twisted. Baker Mayfield and Eli were, they were very successful on the field. One more successful than the other because that one won a Heisman Trophy. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. He took his team, to the college playoffs, just to get blown out in each one of them, except for the Georgia one, the Georgia game, the inaugural playoff that took place. But every other game, blowout city when it mattered. But he still won the Heisman. And he went in the first round. Eli, first round. Johnny Manziel, I didn't even mention him. First round. And we already know what he was doing. And everything else under the sun. But that wasn't a problem. For some reason, it becomes a problem with other players. Now, I know people are going to come out there and they're going to say, well, Cam Ward got drafted in the number one. Travis Hunter got drafted number one. Cam Ward, he wasn't in the combine. He wasn't part of that. I don't even think he was there, to be honest. But they already had pegged him number one. Deion Sanders is not his father. Understand something. Travis Hunter, yes, he went number two. Yes, he was coached by Deion. But that ain't his father. And now that Deion comes out and says, hey, my son, I may not want him to go here. I may not want him to go there. I may not want him to go here. I may not want him to go there. And now SHEDEUR has to take the blunt of the energy towards his father. And this is what it looks like. I mean, to be honest with you, on this Saturday, would I be shocked if he doesn't even get drafted? Yes, I would be shocked. In one of my earlier videos, when he didn't get drafted in the first round, I wasn't surprised. And I know in there I said, hey, he didn't go to the combine. Allegedly, his interviews were the worst. It seemed like in history of NFL interviews at the combine. And that his pro day was not great. Well, I digged a little deeper. And I saw that Sean Payton said that he had a great pro day. And I'm going to rock with Sean Payton. I don't rock with him for real. But I truly believe, I will believe Sean Payton on this one. And the only reason I say that because I didn't respect how he treated Russell Wilson in Denver. But that's nor here nor there. This ain't about that. So if he had a good pro day, then what's the problem? Why hasn't he been drafted? Okay, he didn't get drafted in the first round. All right, there's other quarterbacks that didn't get drafted in the first round. But of his pedigree and of his caliber and what I've seen from Jackson State to Colorado, because understand, even at Jackson State, they didn't believe in him because, the HBCU competition, according to the PWIs, the PWIs, oh, that's not up to par. Let's see what he does when he goes to a Power 4 school. Literally the same thing. Only difference was the defense was Swiss cheese and the offensive line couldn't block to save his life or theirs. And then the next year comes. And they go 9-3. Yes, did he have a poor showing in the bowl game? Absolutely. The team as a whole had a bad performance in the bowl game. Understand something. There are Heisman Trophy winners out here that have had bad bowl games. A la Baker Mayfield. A la, what was the dude out of, was he out of Oklahoma as well? Number 18, was it White? They ended up turning that man into a tight end. Trash. There's been some that's come through the pipe. When he got to the bowl game, national championship, Sugar Bowl, whatever, get blown out the building. So can't really put that on SHEDEUR's, and the Colorado Buffaloes, underperforming in the bowl game last year as an excuse to not draft him. We're in the 4th round today. And that man still hasn't been drafted? You mean to tell me Tyler Show, that has been in the league, that hell, he might as well have been in the NFL. The boy been playing for 7 years, had 3 years of injuries. Is better than SHEDEUR? You mean to tell me that Jalen Milroe is better than SHEDEUR? Now, Jalen Milroe has had some great games. Auburn, 4th and 31. Who would have thought? He did the job. Georgia last year. He was doing the job in the first half and somehow went to sleep behind the wheel, including the whole team, including the team. But they won. But the knock on Jalen Milroe has always been his accuracy. Now, downfield, if he could put it together, oh, he's a bad man. Wills, bad man. Decision making, yeah. That's in question. That's up for debate. Dillon Gabriel. I have to give Dillon Gabriel, okay, I can see him getting drafted before SHEDEUR. I can see that. That man showed that at 3 different schools. UCF, Oklahoma, and then Oregon. Was undefeated until they ran into that juggernaut called the Ohio State Buckeyes. But right now, it's getting to a point of, now we're getting into that territory of watch what you, how can I put this? He didn't go in the first round. Okay, we can look beyond that, even though felt like he should have went. Folks felt like he should have went in the first round. Okay, second and third, even me, I thought he was going to go second to the New Orleans Saints at the 40th spot. Didn't happen. I was surprised. Okay. Then you had Cleveland hovering around. It's like, well, do they need a quarterback? Do they want a quarterback? You know, I don't know. Next thing you know, third round, nothing. And here we are. Trying to figure out, it ain't even really a figuring out process. We know what it is. We know what it is. The NFL and their owners understand something. That's like when I talk about, like where I work at. It's a building, it's a big building. It got a lot of different places, different job, companies in there. But we have food trucks that come to those places, right? There was a major company that was in there that left. And they went to their main office. And then the food trucks that were coming, because there are food trucks now that are on the schedule, that out of nowhere they will cancel. Understand something. Food trucks are like a brotherhood. They're a family. They be at certain events with each other. They talk amongst each other. And I'm pretty sure that they have talked amongst each other and were like, hey, don't go over here because so-and-so and so-and-so done left. You're not going to make much money. You're pretty much going to be wasting more gas than getting sales. Because there were food trucks that used to come to my job, to that building that don't even come no more. And they were some of the best. I say that to say this. The 32 owners, they talk amongst each other. And when they want to make a statement, they will make a statement. And right now, in the 2025 NFL draft, they are trying to make a statement towards the Sanders family. And unfortunately, SHEDEUR has to endure his father's legacy. His father's braggadocious attitude, which I've always loved. There's nothing wrong with bragging. Because you know why? When you can back it up, you can brag all you want. The proof is in the pudding. But you're going to punish the kid? You're going to punish his sons? Shiloh not getting drafted. I'm sorry. Nobody's picking Shiloh. That's not even happening. Yo, his brother ain't even drafted yet, and we're in the 4th round. What makes you think he's getting drafted at all? And this whole social media mess that I hear, oh, don't make it public. Oh, social media this and social media that. Stay off of social media. That's what the NFL is doing. That's what they have evolved to do. Hey, you got Hard Knocks. If that ain't social media at its best, they've been doing it for years before social media. Understand the Baltimore Ravens were the first. Not long ago that was. Shannon Sharp was on there, on that team. Ray Lewis was on that team. Ed Reeves was on that team. Sarah Gusa was on that team. What's the quarterback name? Him. Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer was on that team. That's how long ago it was. There was social media before social media. So don't give me that. That's just another excuse. Like Finesse 2 times said, hey, when they do it, it's okay. But when I do it, oh, it's a problem. And this is where we at. Seems like it's a problem. And to the guy that commented on my short that I put out, I agree with you. The situation doesn't make any sense. All it does is make the NFL look even worse than what it was. Because you're setting a precedent. Because now you're in that territory of, oh, y'all in y'all feelings. Oh, we gonna show them. Oh, he's entitled. How? Every other NFL quarterback done came through entitled. Understand that. A quarterback's mentality is all about entitlement. Oh, he's not going to, and that's the thing I heard earlier too. And I truly believe this, because that goes with any type of sport, any type of program, any type of brand, whether it's college or the NFL. The attitude of you're not bigger than the brand, you're not bigger than the sport, and you're definitely not bigger than the shield. And that's what they're doing right now. They're proving that you're not bigger than the shield. And we're going to teach you a lesson, which is ridiculous. NFL, you're definitely in a bad light. You kind of been in a bad light for a while. This makes it worse. Hopefully there is a team that will take him. Hopefully they don't have that mentality of, oh, well, he well off. He don't need to be on no team. I hope they don't do that, because there have been plenty of players that have been well off that didn't need to be on the team. Or that made it, excuse me, let me rephrase that. That have been drafted and have played for many teams. Many teams. Yeah, journeyman. Yeah. Tom Brady, the reason why I mentioned his name, he was drafted in the 6th round. Hey, see how that turned out. But you got to have an organization that's willing to work with you. You have to have an organization that believes in you. For Tom Brady, who knows what would have happened if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt. But he did. And the rest was history. I'm cheering for SHEDEUR. I definitely want him to come in the league, because at the end of the day, somebody's going to pick him up. Somebody has to pick him up, because at this point, you ain't in backup territory. You ain't even in starting territory. You're in backup territory. And you're pretty much going to have to be the Brock Purdy, the Tom Brady, and every other quarterback that were drafted late in the rounds that were able to start and be that guy. Best of luck to you, young man. Best of luck to the Sanders family. Because this here is utterly ridiculous. From your boy, Blackout Jones, with Just Shooting the Sports. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate my subscribers. I appreciate the newcomers that's coming by to check my page. Follow, like, subscribe, definitely comment, and share. One love. I'll let y'all.